Morning, Stella. I'm telling you, you're going to thank me for dragging you out of bed for this one. Meet Popsicle Man.
This is the very first video game I've worked on, as a matter of fact. It's actually kind of it's sort of an honor, yeah, I can't lie, I'm a video game head. But it shook me a little bit coming in to approach the character as a video game, and as I sit here now after we did it, I'm sort of wishing I was back in there getting another crack at it.
So I guess we're not looking at a case of Dine and Dash gone wrong.
In working on the show, I have, you know, in order to sell this character, I have other people to work with, and I'm able to present my personal self, my physical self, and use, you know, all that stuff. In doing this, I had to condense that all and try to put it into a voice. So, as familiar as the character is to me, there were moments where it felt like it was a stranger's voice.
What this guy needed was a pair of long johns, not a tiny hand warmer.
I think what I like most about Don Flack is his commitment to his people, you know, and that sort of ties itself into the evolution of the character, because he's been in various circumstances with each character on the show where his level of loyalty has come through pretty solid, and that is extremely appealing to me.
Lethal dose of gravity meets pavement. Don't know quite what to make of the guy in his PJs. Considering the mess, it was obviously quite a fall, but this guy's missing the MO of a jumper.
And in terms of his evolution, you know, just as time has gone on, like in any relationship, the more time you have, the more you discover, the more settled things get impatient. We're in season 5 now. We meet a family member of his sister comes into play. He develops a liking for some female cast member.
Folks who jump from buildings usually want an audience, mainly because they want somebody to stop them. At this hour, though, the business district's a ghost town. Nobody saw him perching.
And I've had the police officer tickle for a long time. That's something. I don't know that a scientist would necessarily be the way for me to go. Be a lot of guilty people running free if it was. But yeah, police work has always been pretty fascinating to me, and there's some cops in my family line that I've always admired and looked up to. And yeah, it's a job. New York City Police Department is a job I've always respected and admired.
You don't get such messy corpses unless they fall a long way. This guy hit with speed. Must have started from one of the upper floors. The observation deck, though, it's locked tight. Thing about jumpers, they leap from no higher than the 20th story or so.
In my experience as an actor, there's occasionally moments where opportunities creep up that are either, you know, passively, or you get to partake in them. You know, I was pretty moved when I saw the first CSI New York comic book, you know what I mean? And video games, comics, they're things that I've always been into, you know, since I was a kid. And yeah, it tickled that fantasy of, wouldn't it be great if we could stick ourselves in Contra, you know what I mean, and kind of make it happen. So it just was too good of an opportunity to get to partake in something that, you know, and certainly since I was a kid, video games have evolved to this point that's really beyond my imagination, you know, so to get to partake in the making or creating of or adding to was just too cool to pass up.
Big skull ring on the guy's
ring on a skull ring.
So yeah, he's talking about he went out, he's fighting the guy, he's got some skin and crap on this ring of his.
He's got a chunk of bad guy.
There you go.
I might try to put that on the show. That's good.
Chunk of bad guy.
That's a good one. Chunk of bad guy.